So question number 6, we're really flying through these. Wow. Um, why does it seem that social media works for some businesses, but not mine? Right? That's what people ask. They're wondering, okay, why it seems like so and so is doing great with social media. But my business is really suffering. I'm not really getting the traction that I really want to get. And there could be a couple of reasons for that. It could be because you don't actually have a social media strategy. You're just using these tools without any kind of strategy behind it. Or it's a lack of consistency. Or it's back to the last question. You don't have all the components that are needed around social media set up correctly in order to have an effective strategy. So most businesses that you see are doing great with social media. And that means when I say doing great, they are turning potential customers into actual customers, right? That a lot of people are going through their sales funnel, and also they are turning potential cold leads that come onto their site into people who actually come into their funnel, right? So those, to me, that's what it means when people have successful social strategy. Because even if someone, it's not only about people being customers, because even if someone is not a customer, never becomes a customer of yours, they can still be a great fan of what you do and share what you do, and actually attract other people who may want to buy something from you. So my policy is I just look at everyone that that is part of my community, a part of our community, Therese Squared media community, as all equal participants, right? They're all bringing something special to the community. And if we start seeing our communities and the people who whether they purchase or don't purchase something from us as part of that, it will make it much easier, and you'll really understand social media on a deeper level, because it really is about community. That's really what it's about. The essence is really community. So if you think like social media is working for another business, but it's not really working for your business, then you really need to start looking at how you're building that community, right? How are you building that community versus how that other business is building their community, and start doing some of those changes. So I hope that made sense for a lot of people, because social media, like I said, it's more than just Twitter. It's more than just Facebook or your website. It's a lot of different things, and actually online and offline components that actually come together to really make it successful. Question number 7, and I am sure you've thought this. Do I really have to blog? Oh my God, I've heard so many people talk about this, and actually I could do a whole webinar just on blogging alone. Do I really have to blog? And the answer to this is no, you don't have to. You probably didn't think I was going to say that. No, you don't have to. You don't have to do anything you don't want to do. You don't have to do anything you don't want to do. However, do I recommend blogging to my clients? I absolutely 1000% recommend blogging to my clients. Blogs are extremely important and very powerful tools that will help your business not only get the word out social media wise, but also it's a great opportunity to actually bring cold leads onto your website. So very important when it comes to blogging. And I definitely recommend, if you aren't blogging or you're not blogging the way that you want to, that you really start doing it. You get together a calendar and you start doing it, because it is a great tool for your business, and you have to actually know what to blog about. That is actually a whole other topic, what to blog about. And that is really different depending on your business. But in general, do you really have to blog? No, you don't have to blog. Do I recommend you blogging? Absolutely, yes, I recommend you blogging. And if you are working with more than one person, if you have someone on your team, maybe you can consider having them write a blog, even if it's once a month, right? That's better than zero, right? That's better than zero, because I know it takes a lot of energy to run a business, especially when you're a solopreneur. Even if you may have like a virtual assistant helping you out, it's still a lot of work. I know, because I do it. So when it comes to blogging, sometimes it becomes the last thing on the list. However, I want you to literally start raising blogging onto higher on your list and putting it in your calendar. And a lot of people think blogs have to be books, and actually it doesn't have to be a book. It really, really doesn't. Short and sweet. You don't know how much people actually appreciate short and sweet articles. If you want to focus on writing lengthy articles, that's fine. But if you don't like to write, you don't understand. People really do appreciate short and sweet. And if you don't even like to write, period, like you don't want to write, you can even do videos, right? That's another option. Videos are great in terms of getting your message out there, and they're relatively easy to make. All you need right now is a camera or just a laptop. If you don't have a camera, just your laptop, and literally record yourself. If you have a Mac with iMovie, that's like really the easiest, or getting a flip cam, and from the flip cam you could just upload it directly onto YouTube. So that's my advice on blogging. And if you aren't blogging, you need to examine why. What are the excuses that you're giving yourself? And also, even if you don't like to write, there are other options. You don't even have to like to write. If you don't like to see yourself on video, because some of you may be thinking, well, I don't like to write and I don't like to see myself on video. Well, I would say, it would really be helpful if you start not being so critical of yourself, right? That's really what it is. It's like, don't be so critical of yourself and how you look, because it's really about the value you bring. So if you're bringing value, a lot of value, believe me, it doesn't matter as much as you think it matters. And also, there's also MP3s, although I definitely recommend that you actually get on video instead of just doing an MP3. But you can also do podcasts. That's another option for having content on your blog. So there's a lot of different options. It's really about choosing which one fits your personality, which one fits your business and your audience. So that's my take on blogging. Question number 8. What the heck is Klout, and does it matter? Okay, so Klout, a lot of people go back and forth with Klout. You can go to klout.com to check it out. And basically what it tells you is the influence of a person on social media. And now Klout has actually added a whole bunch of different social platforms. Before, it was just Twitter. They have Facebook, LinkedIn, and other social platforms where you can measure your clout, which is measure your influence and measure the influence of others. And does it matter? Okay, my personal opinion as to whether it matters, it's all depending on how you use this tool, right? If you're not going to use it, no, it doesn't matter. But if you're going to use it to build your business and to connect with people, then it does matter. I go in depth into Klout in my Twitter results program, so you can check that out. There's like a lot I have to say about Klout, But what I can tell you is, to me, I do think it is a valid tool. I do think that there are ways to use Klout that will allow you to measure your influence, measure what you should be doing on social media. So, so I definitely do think it matters. And if you haven't heard of it, I wanted to put a tool on here that I know a lot of people are not necessarily using. And I know this is one of them. Check it out. Give it a feel. And I would love to know what you think. Like, if you are on this webinar or listening back to this webinar, I would love for you to post your Klout score or what you think on Klout. You don't have to post your score on the Facebook page. So facebook.com/Therese Squared. So go ahead and do that. Check Klout out and let me know what your initial thoughts. How could it be valuable to your specific business? So post your thoughts on Facebook. Wow, we are flying through this. We have 2 more questions to go. And of course, if you have questions throughout this webinar, please feel free to type in your question and I will get to it at the end. And if we don't have questions, that's okay, because I know, I'm giving hopefully a lot for you to process and to think about. And even if you have been in some of my programs, hopefully you're getting some new information here as well. Question number 9. Is it a good practice to duplicate content on social networks? This is something I've thought about, and I've gotten asked this numerous times, and it's a good question because the answer is it depends. Okay, it really depends. So, and when I say duplicate content, a lot of people have either their Facebook and their Twitter linked. So that means what they're posting on Twitter also goes to Facebook. Or they can have what they're posting on Facebook goes to Twitter. Or also what they're posting on Twitter goes to LinkedIn. Like, there's all these different options on how you can actually duplicate content on your social networks. So I think the best practice is, if you do have duplicate content, that there are other content that you don't duplicate, because actually the way that you use Facebook is different from the way that you use Twitter. And which is why it's kind of annoying when people actually have all their tweets sent to Facebook, because if people are doing that with their personal profile or even with their page, it's really annoying because the frequency of updates on Facebook is less than Twitter. So Twitter, you can be sending out like 10 tweets a minute. So that kind of adds spam to your Facebook wall, to your, newsfeed, not your wall, the newsfeed that your fans are seeing. So if you're, doing that with your personal profile, that will be your personal profile, it's really adding spam to your friend's newsfeed. And so that's really something to consider. And I actually don't recommend that. And you can actually do the same practice for your page. I don't recommend doing that. If you want to post Facebook to Twitter, I feel that's a bit better. And that's a great way to actually help you increase your Facebook fan base. If people click over and they may like your page. However, with Twitter, the purpose of using Twitter and the reason Twitter is important is that it's actually a conversational platform. So if you're not having conversations or you're not networking in a certain way on Twitter, you're actually using it incorrectly, right? You're not really fully utilizing Twitter. So if you are doing it for Twitter and you're not doing anything else, then I would say that is definitely not effective. So really important to make that distinction. That's probably not effective at all. So my practice is, if you do duplicate content, you want to make sure, for example, for Facebook, you're not spamming anyone, because if you're spamming people, your fans, they're going to hide you, right? On Facebook, people have the ability to hide you if they feel like your posts, your status updates are annoying. So if you're doing that and you're sending all your tweets to Twitter, you really, really, really are risking that a lot of people will start hiding you because they don't want that. And there are some people who use Facebook and don't use Twitter. So they don't know if you're actually going to respond. They feel confused. They're like wondering what these tweets are. So you just don't want to get into that situation. And with Twitter, if you're sending Facebook to Twitter, you definitely want to think about how else you are going to engage Twitter differently from Facebook. And the same thing with LinkedIn, right? The same thing with LinkedIn, if that is one of the platforms you want to focus on. And we're at question number 10. Woohoo! So what are the social media trends that I need to be aware of, right? This is a good question. I think this is a really, really, really good question. So what are the trends that you need to be aware of in social media marketing for your business? I feel one of the trends that we all need to pay attention to is video, right? Because video is getting more sophisticated. Although I said just use the video on your computer, and especially you're starting out, just use what you have. But video is definitely something that's evolving. I feel like we're going to see more videos. We're going to see more fancier videos. And the fact that video equipment has actually decreased in price, or it's become affordable for the consumer, because if you know anything about cameras, a lot of videos that are not pro level, meaning like videos that are not for film professionals, are really good. Even are really, really good. So you can get some high quality things going. And I feel that there's also going to be more of a rise on people actually outsourcing their videos to get them to that certain look and feel that they want it to be. So I definitely feel there's going to be more videos. And I also feel that there will also be more transparency, or I'm hoping that this is the case, more transparency in business, and a lot more businesses that are based on an actual person, meaning a personality business, right? So I feel like there's really even more of a shift towards personality businesses. And although if you think back, a lot of big businesses now were, it's like someone's name, right? Like the circus. That's actually a person. That's their name. Barnum. So that's the person's name. So those were already personality-based businesses. However, I feel like it's going to be even more transparent, right? It's going to be less of this distance between the business and the customer, right? It's going to be more of a relationship. And I feel that marketing relationships opposed to marketing products and services is really, really, really how the selling landscape is going to change. So if your business is just marketing products, then you need to definitely be aware of that, because I really feel that, customers now, they're getting more and more used to having businesses be more open, especially when it's like a small business, which a lot of people who are listening to this are small business owners. So, or they're building their brand. And especially if you're building a brand, you definitely have to have that level of transparency around your brand. So, bonus question. Bonus question number 11. I have to always throw in some bonus. How do I truly formulate a social media plan for your business? for my business, I should say. So how do I formulate a social media plan? Really, I don't have time to answer this question. It would take actually a while, a couple of days to really go through all of the steps. What I want you to know is that a plan is not just Twitter, it's not just Facebook, it's actually a lot of online and offline activities that come together to formulate your plan, your social media plan. And I just have a question, like, how would it feel if you had a social media plan or a plan for your business for the next year? Wouldn't you feel like, oh my God, this is so good? Like, oh, okay, I know exactly what I'm doing. I feel a lot of entrepreneurs wake up and are thinking, what am I doing today? I'm not sure. I wonder what I'm doing today. So it's really important to be very clear as an entrepreneur what you are doing, right? Because that's the only way you can actually get ahead. So with that said, if you're interested in, I'm only opening up 3 spots I don't have any programs. This is actually a very laid back thing. If I'm opening up 3 spots for private coaching. So if you're interested in just private coaching, because I've gotten asked about this and I was like, oh, let me just mention this on the webinar since I got asked about it. If you're interested in private high-level coaching, right? High-level coaching, and you really want to say, I have a plan for my business for the next year as to what I'm going to be doing, then send me an email, social@TherezSquare.com, and someone from my team will get back to you and we will schedule a time to actually talk about it in depth, because right now it's not the time, and also it's so specific to what you do that I don't want to give blanket answers. I don't know if you understand that. I really don't want to give blanket answers because when I do private coaching, private work with clients, it's really not blanket at all. It's very specific based on your needs. So if you want to even talk about, okay, what would this look like? And I really want a plan for the next year for my business. I really want that. Because I want to see by the end of next year, which is like next November, okay, I really made some leaps. I really got somewhere. So if you want to have that conversation with me, then all you have to do is send an email to social@TherezSquare.com. And some people may think, oh, what do I write in this email? All you have to write is in the subject, private coaching. That's it. You don't even have to write anything in the body. Like literally, it's really that easy. Just write private coaching subject and then hit send. That's how easy it is. So if you're interested in that, I'm going to take interviews and I have only 3 spots. So yeah, 3 spots, and actually 1 spot is almost like 90% taken. So let's just say really 2 spots. So if you want to be one of those 2 people, then just send an email to social@TherezSquare.com.